With my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson, Alexander Tumolev. It's good to have you alongside for the ride once again. Okay, Ty. I don't think anybody expected this matchup in the second round today. Corner Canyon against Fremont. What intrigues you the most about this matchup?
What intrigues me most is that Corner Canyon, a team that not only knocked off the 2 seed, which was then eliminated, or Davis was actually eliminated earlier, but the fact that Corner Canyon has done as well as they've done during the regular season, they had to win a 2-1 series against Skyridge just to get to the position that they're in today. But now they get an opportunity, Alex, to advance to the semifinal round, just as the 10 seed. So, once again, just the underdog story continues going through this playoff so far. Let's see if they're able to withstand the power, I guess, that comes from the 6 seed Fremont.
And we talked about this, too, yesterday, how the Fremont Silverwolves really are almost a small ball kind of team, but they really used that to their advantage, and they got a lot of power hits yesterday as well from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, Fremont, once again, a very small ball team, just like you mentioned, Alex, but like many other teams in this tournament, their lineup just has depth upon depth, and you can solely rely on the offense. That's what came courtesy of that, mistake me if I'm wrong, the 8-5 win, correct? Yes, it was the 8-5 win. And you know, you just take a look at this team and the offensive perspective that you can get with it. Just like you mentioned, Alex, the small ball play, it comes into effect, and Fremont takes well advantage of it, at least as they've done so far in this playoff.
Well, it's time to meet the starting lineups for both teams, and it's time to see who the coaches have assembled as their winning teams this afternoon. Sponsored by the team that's always committed to winning for you, the client, Heidemann and Associates. Proud sponsor, KSL Sports Rewind. Corner Canyon's Jeff Ure puts out the following lineup. Garrett Downing in center field bats first. Ryder Florence at shortstop bats second. Cash Conquer at second bats third. Nathan Horseman cleanup bats third. At third base bats cleanup. Pitcher Andrew Nice will bat fifth. Ryland Dunn bats sixth. Jack Munson, right fielder, bats seventh. Drew Walcott in left field bats seventh. And the DH is Tanner Mackey. He will bat ninth, with Cannon Cotterall behind the plate today, catching for pitcher Andrew Nice. On the other side for the Fremont Silverwolves, Garrett Clark puts out Karsten Jamison leading off at short. Brig Grange, the catcher, second. Anthony Marcial, who had a brilliant day yesterday, pitching and hitting in left field today, third in the order. Garrett Jones cleanup at first base. Max Johnson at third base batting fifth. Tyson Grieve at second batting sixth. The DH Grady Garrett batting seventh. Jace Hadley, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Brady Penland will be hitting ninth and playing right field, and they will all face off. The Corner Canyon Chargers will against number 9, Brant Colford. So, the first 2 games of the day for us are done. We know who's out. We said farewell to Davis and Syracuse earlier this morning, and now who will punch their ticket to the semifinals? And the first pitch of the game is fouled off to the left for strike one. First pitch was a strike. Now the next one is down low. And 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the center fielder, Garrett Downing.
Garrett Downing, the sophomore, great batting average over during the regular season. He bats .361. And I mean, even in the playoffs, he's continued said streak. And just as a sophomore, I mean, once again, we talk about these young teams. We saw Syracuse earlier today. The young aspect that plays a good factor into lineups.
This one is driven in the air to right, tailing foul down the line, and it will land foul and go into the bullpen. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes here on the center fielder, Garrett Downing, as Brant Colford tries to get the strikeout to kick off proceedings here this afternoon against this really tough Corner Canyon lineup. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Just misses the outside corner, ball 3, and the count goes full. The full count payoff on the way. Hit in the air to the gap to right center field. Coming in is the center fielder and making the catch, Jace Hadley, and there's one gone here in the top half of the first inning.
And that's huge if you're Fremont, because this top of the lineup is really dangerous, and they get going early. And to get that fly out there, it's a very positive outcome, courtesy of Jace Hadley out there in center.
Next up now is the shortstop, Ryder Florence. He takes strike one over the other half of the plate. Current temperature 59 degrees here in Provo. West-southwest wind at about 6 miles per hour as that changeup is swung on and missed for strike two. Clear skies is the forecast for the next few days. Low tonight's going to be 41 degrees, though. 0-2 pitch is inside and a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's going to get cold just in time for that American Fork Lehigh matchup, Alex.
Yep, but it's going to be hot now in the field with all the action we're supposed to see as Colford misses down low again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Winner of this game advances to the semifinal round tomorrow. 2-2 pitch. Tapped weakly in front of the mound like a swinging bunt. Colford picks it up, throw over to first in time. And just like that, there are 2 gone here in the top half of the first inning. So Cash Conquer now will come up to the plate.
Well, that's why I mentioned it's such a big deal for Brant Colford to get these first 3 in the lineup down for Corner Canyon. You got a fly out now, a ground out. You can rely upon your defense on swinging contact from Corner Canyon.
This one is foul tipped off the catcher, off the ground. 1 strike the count. Oh, 1 pitch. And down low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. As catcher Brig Grange had to pick it up off the carpet. Wind is fairly still right now, not as blustery as it was last night during the second of our 2 games in the nightcap, as this pitch misses outside. 2 balls and a strike now. Fremont wearing the white uniforms, the all-whites today, looking icy fresh, too. 2-1 pitch. And that's outside 3-1.
Something we haven't talked about, Alex, is who do you think has the best uniforms in this tournament? At least based off of your biased opinion.
I'm not even going to venture to guess because I don't want to make any fan bases mad. So I'm just going to stay silent on that. That's all I'm going to say. 3 balls and a strike. Now here's the pitch. This one is hit on a line towards short, and it's off the glove of Karsten Jamison into left field for a base hit. Good effort over there by Jamison, but that will go down as a base hit. And the first base knock of the game comes with 2 outs, and it belongs to the Corner Canyon Chargers. And that'll bring up Nathan Horstman, the cleanup man here, playing third base. Horstman had a big day yesterday against Davis.
You can hear the nickname Horsey.
Yes.
Coming from the dugout.
from the dugout over there. Runner at first, 2 out. And the first pitch on the way is chopped up the line on the backhand. Throw over to first. Long throw. Makes the catch. And that ends the inning. The Corner Canyon Chargers, after getting 1 hit, other than that, they're set down in order. The Fremont Silverwolves are coming to bat for the bottom of the first inning after this. Get a good look there at shortstop Karsten Jamison, who will be leading off proceedings here for the Fremont Silverwolves in the bottom of the first inning. Here, Alexander Timob, alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson, here from the Kimball Press Box at the Larry H. Miller Field at Brigham Young University, just south of the Marriott Center. Ty, we've already seen how dangerous Corner Canyon can be with 2 outs, but Brant Colford did an amazing job getting out of that little bit of a mini jam there with the runner on first. Now it's Corner Canyon's turn to see what their pitching can do here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and Corner Canyon's pitching, I mean, we saw him yesterday, Jacob Trost. He had himself an incredible game, managing to withstand the punches that Davis had provided. And so now you put it up into the hands of the pitchers as well as the defense. I mean, Corner Canyon, they handled Davis's defense pretty well. Do you think it'll be able to withstand Fremont's going into this game?
And you kind of wonder because, like, we know that Fremont is the obvious favorites coming into this game and Corner Canyon's the underdog, but from what we saw yesterday, Corner Canyon played with a lot of with a lot of juice and a lot of energy, and you could tell early on here, they're bringing that same energy they had yesterday. They feel like they got nothing to lose here, Ty.
It's very true. I mean, if you're playing as Corner Canyon, you can obviously consider it a win that you knocked off the number two team in the tournament, or I guess you can call them the 2 seed, Davis, who got knocked off earlier today. I mean, you take these little victories in the tournament, especially at the 10 seed. You're the lowest seed coming into this tournament, Corner Canyon. I mean, what else do you have to lose, I guess, at this point?
So we're ready to start here. Bottom of the first inning. Karsten Jamison, number 42, will lead off for the Fremont Silverwolves, the shortstop. Facing Andrew Nice, who played second base yesterday, plays pitcher today, and his first pitch is down low and away, ball 1.
Talented first baseman, but he can also pitch too, Alex.
1-0 pitch. Foul tip right into the glove of the catcher. 1-1. One ball, one strike the count. Andrew Nice brings it down. That one just misses below the knees there. 2 balls and a strike. Two and one the count. The pitch is fouled off toward University Parkway. A lot of traffic up there. Watch out.
Especially with graduations going on over at the Marriott Center, too.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of graduations going on this next couple of days here at the Marriott Center, up north where we are. 2-2 the count. Andrew Nice brings it down. That's a rocket back up the middle and a base hit. Karsten Jamison, leadoff single. And the Fremont Silverwolves have their first base runner of the ball game with nobody out here at the bottom of the first.
And that's a good approach. Especially in the count, too. He had that foul ball that we mentioned that went to University Parkway, straightened it out. You got a gapper right up the infield side and into center field. They already got one base runner.
That'll bring up Brig Grange, who gets the first pitch up and away, ball 1. Nice comes set. And the 1-0 pitch. That one is high and inside, 2-0. First game that started on time all week long here at Miller Field. 4:30 was the official start time, on schedule time. This one is lifted foul up to the right field stands and over everybody and out of play. Two and one the count now on Brig Grange, the catcher. Winner advances to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. 2-1 pitch coming from Nice. Kicks and fires. This one is grounded to short. 6, 4. Not going to get 3 as the throw came off the bag and offline. So they will get the force. Score at 6-4. And there's one out now here in the top half of the bottom half of the first inning. And now here comes the left fielder, Anthony Marzial, who was spectacular yesterday on both ends of the field. Combining for that strong outing with Kobe Nance on the mound and then getting 2 doubles in his back pocket as this one is high and inside, ball 1. One-0 pitch. And he doesn't go on that one. It's high and outside this time, 2-0. Runner at first, 1 out here, bottom half of the first inning. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss on that one, strike 1.
Well, Fremont's also pretty lucky, Alex, if you think about it. They've got both sunny games. At least it was the greater portion of that Fremont versus Mountain Ridge series yesterday.
This one is popped up, heading towards the backstop. And that's going to go over into the first row of fans down here on our left. Runner was off taking off trying to go for second on the hit and run count, but no dice, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Anthony Marzial. Garrett Jones, the first baseman, stands on deck as the cleanup hitter. Two-two pitch. Ground ball foul up the right side. Looked like Nice hesitated for a second on wanting to try to pick off the runner or trying to throw the pitch as we have as the foul ball is loose over in right field, so one of the bench players has to go get it. Two-two pitch coming. That is inside and low, 3-2, so the count goes full here on Anthony Marzial.
Well, Jacob Trost yesterday, he was highlighted for his strikeouts on the mound. Andrew Nice is going to try to formulate a very similar aspect against this Fremont lineup, but instead he draws a walk.
That one is high and inside, ball 4. Marzial will trot over to first. Runner will advance to second, and there are runners on first and second now with only 1 out here in the bottom half of inning number 1, and that will bring forth the cleanup man, Garrett Jones. Max Johnson stands on deck, the third baseman. Runner on first and second, 1 out. Nice as a look back at second. And the pitch is high, ball 1.
Well, if there's any guy, I guess, theoretically in this Fremont lineup, I would say, honestly, he's pretty much the guy you would want. I'll get to stats here in a second for him.
1-0 pitch on the way. That one is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Alex, he's batting .407 on the season. 37 hits, 25 RBIs, and he actually leads the team in the RBI aspect as he sits here, second and first base runners.
Has a look back at second. Nice does, and now the 2-0 pitch on the way. High fly ball in the air to right. Right fielder comes over, will make the catch. Tagging and running for third is Break Grange. He'll get there without a throw as it's cut off at second base, and that means there are runners at the corners now with 2 men gone here in the bottom half of the first in a scoreless game.
And that's a big out for Corner Canyon, too. It, I guess, limits, since they're at the corners now, it limits that opportunity for the double play, so you don't have to worry about that. This also gives Andrew Nice a little bit of time. As you see the pickoff there, but now he has time to work on the batter and try to get this inning kaput.
Max Johnson now stands in. First pitch on the way to him is once again popped up in the air to right, going to the foul ground, and it's going to tail out of play into the bullpen over on the right side. 1 strike the count now on Max Johnson, the third baseman. Oh, 1 pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind blowing from left field to right field now, gently, as this ball bounces up to the plate. 2 balls and a strike now. Two balls and a strike now. Andrew Nice comes set. And the pitch. That one is in there at the knees on the inside corner for a strike. And so deuces wild here in this bottom of the first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners, 2 out.
Well, as I mentioned, this is the opportunity for Andrew Nice just to work on Max Johnson. Probably not exactly worry about the base path as he's got 2 outs.
Fly ball into right, tailing towards foul ground, and it will be dropping in foul as no one could get to it over on the right side, so we'll do it again. This will be the 7th pitch of the AB coming up here. A lot of deep counts here for Andrew Nice in this early part of the game, especially a lot of deep 2 and 3 ball counts here early on. Outfield playing just about straight away, infield playing deeper onto the grass. 2-2 pitch is outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So once again, the count goes full.
Bring the at-bat up to 8 pitches.
This has been a battle so far. Who wins it? 3-2. And this is pop foul into the stands on the right side. Heads up as it lands in the right field stands. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 9th pitch of the AB coming up. Andrew Nice trying to get out of the inning. The 3-2. Ground ball, foul. As it just hopped past the third base line. So we'll do it again.
Well, we'll go to double digits too in the pitch count. I mentioned before, this gives Andrew Nice the opportunity to work on Max Johnson, but the only issue with that is the longer that you work on his at bat, the higher up your pitch count will go.
10th pitch of the AB coming up here. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Line drive into right. Driven well. Back at the wall. That's off the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes the second. A 2-run, 2-out double. And the Silverwolves strike first.
Now playing for 25, Tyson Reed.
And that's a big base hit there. A 2-run double off the bat of Max Johnson. After a 10-pitch at-bat, Max Johnson able to win the battle against Andrew Nice.
Andrew Nice, he had to step off there for a little bit after that 10-pitch at-bat, compose himself, and hopefully only get away with 1 run in this inning.
Instead, there's 2 runs on the board now off that double by Max Johnson, as this one is down and in for ball 1.
Just got to prevent that extra run that I just mentioned going from second to home, because obviously scoring position does play a factor.
One-0 pitch. Grounded foul over toward the dugout. Two runs home on the double by Max Johnson. Part of the 2 hits in the inning for the Fremont Silverwolves and a 2-0 lead here early in this game. 1-1 pitch is high, 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs here. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Fremont already home on the 2-run double by Max Johnson. Nice as a look back at second in the pitch. That one hits the knees there for a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Once again, Andrew Nice has a count in his favor.
giving a stare down to Max Johnson after that 10-pitch at-bat.
Still having a stare down with them over at second base. Now the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Picked up cleanly. Throw over to first in time. And that ends the inning. But 2-run score on the 2-run double by Max Johnson. As we go to the top half of the second inning, it is 2-0 in favor of the Fremont Silverwolves. Back after this message from Igloo Outfitters on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field and the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here on the campus of BYU. Alexander Tumub alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson. So, Ty, 2-0 as we head into the top half of the second inning in this second round game between Corner Canyon and Fremont. What has interested you the most about this about the second round matchup so far?
So far, the biggest thing that I've noticed was, obviously that 10-pitch at-bat by Max Johnson. He's been able to work hitters, during the regular season all year, but to see that during the tournament. And as far as he hit the ball, too, he hit it with ease and with power. And I'm pretty sure he had close to around 4, maybe even 3 foul balls hit in that attempt, but still, it just shows that Fremont is just so capable in working the pitchers, at least so far as we've seen. We saw it, obviously, against Mountain Ridge, and now we're already seeing it early against Corner Canyon.
Andrew Nice steps in, pitcher-on-pitcher matchup for ball 1 here against Brant Colford. Next pitch is outside and low, misses the corner again, 2-0. Pitch count so far, 33 thrown by Nice in that first inning. A lot of deep 3-ball and 2-ball counts. Colford Nice takes a strike right down the middle of the plate. 2 balls and a strike now. 2-1 pitch. That one also catches the outside corner. Good location on that. 2-2. Two-two pitch. This one misses high and away, ball 3. So the count goes full here on the pitcher, Andrew Nice. Three-two pitch. High fly ball, foul. Way foul. As he was well out in front there. That is going so far into the Helaman Hall's parking lot.
Might land on the roof of one of the buildings out there, Alex. That's how far that
that thing was so far foul. 3-2 pitch again. Down low, ball 4. And so Andrew Nice draws a walk. And the leadoff runner is on here for Corner Canyon to begin the top half of the second inning. And here comes Ryland Dunn, who took that pitch to the ribs yesterday and is back out there, thank goodness, after yesterday's little scare. Meanwhile, Lincoln Yore goes out to first base to pinch run for the pitcher, Andrew Nice. First pitch on the way. That's a high strike right at the letters. 2-0 Fremont. Top half of the second inning. Runner on first and tying run at the plate. Quick throw back to first and Yore's back in. Pitch from Colford. Misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Winner of this game advances to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. One pitch. This one misses the outside corner and high. 2 balls and a strike now. Colford gets the signal, and the pitch is hit high in the air, deep left field, at the wall, aloha! A 2-run home run for Ryland Dunn, and the Chargers come right back to tie it. Now that's how you send a statement of intent.
It's the first one we've seen this tournament. And what better time does it come than from Dunn Ryland to tie the game?
Ryland Dunn took a hit to the pitch to the ribs yesterday. And the first at-bat he has following that HBP, when he had to be subbed out because of it, he hits a 2-run home run to left field that clears that Big 12 logo on the 347 mark by plenty. As that one is golf foul on the University Parkway. No balls and 2 strikes now.
Well, we saw out there Anthony Marzelli. He was kind of tracking it. He thought he would have had at least a little bit of an opportunity. But that ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. And we have ourselves a tie game.
As this one is lofted into right field for a base hit. So back-to-back hits, and Jack Munson, who had a RBI single yesterday to make it a 1-0 game, puts another runner on first, and here comes Drew Watcott up to the plate.
And if you're Brant Coford, you kind of have to start containing yourself. You still got no outs. You had a walk, followed by a home run, which tied the game. And then now a single, so now you have to kind of start maybe throwing at least a little bit of off-speed pitches. I've noticed most of his four-seam fastballs, I guess, in the zone have been crushed by Corner Canyon thus far. Coming for right in the middle of the lineup, too, Alex.
Well, that's where you want it, at the heart of the lineup, to make your damage done. One-0 pitch. That's high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. For Ryland Dunn, by the way, that is his first home run of the entire season. He had not had a home run prior to this game. He had 2 doubles and 9 RBIs. He had appeared with 14 strikeouts and a 2-3 record as a pitcher. That was his first home run of the entire 2024 season, and it comes in the second round of the baseball tournament.
And it comes in a ballpark that it's difficult to do.
I mean, he cleared that 347 mark over the Big 12 logo by plenty and left. This one is hit well into the gap. That's going towards left center. That's going to go down. Jeff, you're going to wave the runner home from third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off, and Corner Canyon has the lead. Three runs come across the score in this inning on 4 base hits. And the Chargers have their first lead of the afternoon.
And a barrage of hits are just flooding in. All started with that walk early that was given to Andrew Nice earlier in the inning.
And here comes Garrett Clark out of the dugout. As we're going to have an early mound visit, and in fact we are going to have an arm moving up in the bullpen already for the Fremont Silverwolves as Kenyon Pratt goes out to the bullpen to start warming up. What a turn of events, Ty. In case anybody missed it, a 2-run home run by Ryland Dunn, and now a single by Jack Munson, and now an RBI double by Drew Watcott. And it is now a 3-2 Corner Canyon lead. And we talked about how, this Corner Canyon team showed they were dangerous, but they are also battle-tested. And what a great way to respond after giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. They come back and get 3 with the 2-run home run by Dunn, and then they get the RBI double by Watcott.
Well, I also said it's all because of Andrew Nice's walk and his plate appearance that he had. He wanted to get a lot more opportunities at the plate to try to make this at least a game change, and I think that was the spark that Corner Canyon's offense needed coming into the second inning. I mean, they've been tearing it up ever since. Reminder, there is still no outs recorded for Fremont.
And remember how yesterday it was the bottom of the lineup for Fremont that was doing damage, and the bottom of the lineup for American Fork that's doing damage. Today, it's the Corner Canyon lineup, the 7-8-9 hitters that are doing, or 6-7-8 hitters that are doing damage. First pitch on the way from Colford as Mackey tried to lay down a bunt but missed it. Strike one.
It's just the name of, at least the games that we've seen, Alex, is just the depth in the lineups. And we talk about it constantly, that there's just so many guys in 6A. That's like, you don't even know where to put some of the guys on the roster. It's just like the coaches know their players by name, so I guess they know exactly where to put them.
That off-speed pitch goes up high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
But like if I was just looking at this lineup based off of statistics, I mean, I could easily put, you know, Ryan Dunn in the first spot and throw whoever else down to the 5.
Well, Jeff Ewer might want to think about that. But then again, what do I know? What do we know as announcers? This one is cut on a miss for strike 2 from Tanner Mackey. 3 runs on 3 hits in this inning for Corner Canyon. And the big blow being the 2-run home run by Ryland Dunn.
Who, by the way, is taking the place of Cannon Cotterall, the catcher.
In the lineup today, yes.
Yep.
1-2 pitch. Struck him out. And Mackey bashes his bat against the ground in frustration, knowing he swung or reached away at a pitch. And there's finally 1 out now here in the top half of the 2nd inning. And that'll turn over the lineup cards. And here comes Garrett Downing, the center fielder.
Garrett Downing.
3-2 Corner Canyon. Top half of the 2nd inning from Larry H. Miller Field. 2nd round of the UHSAA baseball playoffs. Colford kicks and deals, and a pitch out attempt goes high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. One 1-0 pitch, turn and throw back to second. That's a close play at the bag, but they didn't get him. In just ahead of the throw there was Drew Watcott.
Give the dugout the assist with the simultaneous back call. Looks like we got second and short trying to get the pickoff attempt here.
And they are very wary of Watcott's speed over there at second. 1-0 pitch. That is right down Broadway for a strike. Right-hander up in the bullpen right now for the Fremont Silverwolves here in the top half of the 2nd inning with 1 out. And now a 3-2 deficit after an early 2-0 lead.
Cash Connor looks like he's backing off on this pickoff attempt, leaving it all for Ryder Florence.
That one is high and outside. 2 balls and a strike.
My apologies. Karsten Jameson playing shortstop. It's already a long day. I'm mixing up the Corner Canyon with the Fremont lineup.
2-1 pitch coming from Colford. And that is golfed foul over the left field stands and into University Parkway.
Should have kept a track of the foul balls that have been hit to University and Helaman Halls.
I'm sure there have been plenty of them. That's why they have an extra stash of game balls up here in the press box here at Larry Miller Field. 2-2 pitch coming from Colford. Kicks and fires, and this bounces up to the plate. That's going to get away. Walcott thought about going for home, but instead will think better of it. And the runner advances to third on the passed ball, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Garrett Downing.
I think that's one Brig Grange would want to get back. It was a low hopper right in front of the plate. And you notice, I think he just read it wrong just based off of the speed.
3-2 pitch. Ball 4. And so runners are at the corners now with 1 out here in the top half of the 2nd. And here comes Garrett Clark to the mound. And I believe that's going to do it for Brant Colford. And it is. So Brant Colford lasts just 2 1/3 innings. We've got a pitching change early in this one here at Larry Miller Field. Corner Canyon leads 3-2. Take a pause here on the rewind. Kenyon Pratt now takes over on the mound here for Brant Coford, who goes just 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, and now it's up to the bullpen of Fremont to take it the rest of the way here. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson here at Larry Miller Field in Provo, Utah on the campus of BYU. Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA baseball is presented by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered through all days and seasons of the year. When you use the promo code REWIND, you can get 20% off your next order with Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLU Outfitters.com. This is just one of many games that are going on at the moment on our network. We have, of course, the 5A baseball going on today. We have 4A boys soccer semifinals completed. I mean, Murray taking down Layton Christian Academy in a huge upset in extra time. And then Ridgeline stamping their ticket in equally dramatic fashion against Green Canyon earlier today. Set up the 4A final. And, of course, we have Pleasant Grove taking on Farmington and Bingham taking on American Fork right now at Zions Bank Stadium up in Harriman. It's a great time to be a sports fan if you're a Utah high school sports fan. 60-plus games in 6 days here on the Rewind. First pitch from Kenyon Pratt is chopped to third. It gets through the hole. 1 run will score. From third base comes Watcott, an RBI single, and they add on. It's 4-2 in favor of Corner Canyon.
All it took was 1 pitch.
And first pitch swinging, no less. And now here comes Cash Conker, the second baseman. Four runs have come across to score in this inning on 4 base hits. Kenyon Pratt comes set and the pitch. That is a strike poured in right at the letters. The big blow, of course, the 2-run home run by Ryland Dunn. So now Conker on an 0-1 count with runners on first and second awaits and takes low, ball 1. Conker awaits the 1-1. High fly ball toward the gap in right field. This one is caught on the run. Runner will tag and go for third. Get there safely on the sac fly. Good catch over there on the track down by Brady Penland, and there's 2 gone now here in the top of the second, and there are also now runners at the corners once again.
I'm sure that's difficult out there, too, with the sun. Just kind of coming in right into more so the right center field side. When that ball tracks, I mean, yeah, respect where it's due to good old Brady Penland.
So here comes Nathan Horstman, now the third baseman, batting cleanup. That first pitch is way up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Want to know the count on Nathan Horstman. Runners at the corners, and the pitch is in there at the knees for a strike. 4 runs already home in this inning on 4 base hits, including the 2-run home run by Ryland Dunn. The first one, like Ty said, that we have seen here at Miller Field all week. And probably not the last. Quick throw back to first, and in is the runner, Ryder Florence. Florence at first. And Downing at third. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one misses high. 2 balls and a strike as the catcher had to snatch that down a couple of inches. Pratt takes a look back. Now check throw back to first, and in quickly is Ryder Florence.
I'd also like to point out who's in the on-deck circle, the guy who started it all with the walk. Andrew Nice.
And that means they will have batted around here. This is the 8th man to the plate. This one is lined to right, and a base hit into the gap. Cutting it off quickly and bringing it back in is the right fielder, Brady Penland. Another run is on the board. It is 5-2 in favor of Corner Canyon. And here comes Andrew Nice, the 9th batter in this inning for the Chargers, which means they have completed the circle, batted around here in the very second inning.
All but 2 guys
Have not registered a hit.
Yep. And one of them has a walk, and it's the guy that's at the plate right now, Andrew Nice.
1 ball and no strikes to count. Nice stands into the plate. 1-0 pitch on the way coming from Pratt. This one is lined to right center. That's going to be big-time trouble.
There's his hit,
That's going to
Alex.
go all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. The throw coming to third. Nice slides in, safe with a 2-run triple. The 10th batter to come to the plate here in this inning now is now Ryland Dunn. And Ryland Dunn already has a 2-run home run in this game, and it came in this inning. First pitch on the way from Pratt is high and inside, ball 1. As Lincoln Ure goes out to run at third base.
Is this reminding you a lot of Lehigh yesterday?
It sure does. It's bringing back those memories right now. Here's the pitch. That one's right at the knees for a strike.
I mean, batted around, granted it was in the 3rd inning instead of the 2nd. But my goodness, Corner Canyon.
One pitch. Good off-speed pitch right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
They are not playing like the 10 seed that they are given, Alex.
No, they are definitely not. And neither is Lehigh. 1-2 pitch. That is high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third base is Ure. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the pitch. That's down on the carpet. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the count goes full. Full count, 2 out, and the pitch. Ball 4 again. Make it 11 batters now in this inning.
At plate number 14, Jack Munson.
Jack Munson now steps up for the 2nd time in this inning, and we have yet another right-hander warming up in the Fremont bullpen. Check throw back to first. They're going to get it back in time. Pitch coming down the pipe to Munson. Misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Corner Canyon has just opened up the can here in the 2nd inning. 7 runs, and now their 11th batter at the plate. That one is tapped foul to the screen.
Well, if anything, Alex, it's the 2-out rally. The last out recorded was the 3-hole hitter, and that's Cash Connor, who got a force out. Only give them their 2nd out in since. It's been a single, a triple, and then obviously Dunn Ryland going first.
That one is low into the knees. 2 balls and a strike.
This is the deepest two that we've seen a lineup go in regards to hitting around, Alex.
Yeah,
They've gone
11
full circle and extra.
Yeah, 11 batters now in this inning. 2-1 pitch. That's on the corner. That's a strike. And let's see if finally Kenyon Pratt can get his side out of this monster pickle that they're in and just stop the bleeding for now. 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to left. Left fielder is under it, makes the grab, and that finally ends the inning. After 11 batters, 7 runs score on 6 base hits. No errors. They were stranded runners at the corners, but it matters little. The Corner Canyon Chargers now lead 7-2 as we head to the bottom of inning number 2 here at Miller Park. Thank Igloo Outfitters for their sponsorship of the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson here at Miller Park here in Provo, Utah, on the campus of BYU. 7-2. The Corner Canyon Chargers throw 7 runs across with 11 batters on 6 base hits, including the 2-run home run by Ryland Dunn. And so now Fremont going to try to chunk it away. 1 hit or 1 at-bat and 1 inning at a time here, starting with the DH Grady Garrett here in this bottom of the 2nd inning against Andrew Nice, who kicked off everything in that rally for the Corner Canyon Chargers, and he takes a strike. Does Grady Garrett. Oh, 1 pitch. This one is grounded to second. Picked up cleanly by Conker. Throw over to first in time. And there's 1 out.
Now hitting number 1, Jace Hadley.
Do you think Andrew Nice is feeling a little bit more comfortable? You can notice the pregame nerves were kind of there when he allowed the first 2 runs for Fremont. Do you think he's feeling a lot more comfortable with the lead that he has now?
Well, it's like what Josh Dodge and I talked about earlier this morning. Can't sit back on your laurels, as on the first pitch, this is a rocket hit on 1 hop over to the first baseman, Ryland Dunn, who picks it up, throws to first in time, and just like that, 2 gone here in the bottom half of inning number 2.
I'd say he's doing just fine, honestly.
You better not jinx it.
Yeah, true. For right now, for this inning, I will say, yep.
You've done it before, Ty. I'm telling you right now.
Colton does believe that announcers' curses don't exist, Alex.
That's true. Colton Potter doesn't believe it exists, but we have evidence that it does exist.
Some of them have been on me, too, in the past.
Yeah, denial ain't no river in Egypt, as this is golfed into the air to the right and foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now, or rather, I believe it's still 1-1. Yes, it is. It's 1-1 here, bottom of the 2nd inning. Quickly 2 gone here for Andrew Nice. Shakes off that first call, now brings this next one down, and this is also golfed to the same side and foul. Now it's 1-2. Andrew Nice from the stretch. Kicks and fires. Misses the outside corner and high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. High and inside. 3-2. Full count here for Andrew Nice. And the pitch. And that's ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued by Andrew Nice right there to the number 9 hitter, Brady Penland. And now we'll bring up the shortstop, Karsten Jameson. Jameson stands in the first pitch. Misses the outside corner and low. 1 ball, no strikes. On deck is Brig Grange, the catcher for Fremont. Quick throw back to first, and in safely there is Penland. 1-0 pitch. That one is low. Nice had a couple of glances over at first base, and it took it low. 2 balls and no strikes.
A couple of good takes, too, on pitches that could easily be mistaken for strikes that you want to take a swing at, especially being down this far in the lead.
That one is in there. Strike 1.
And then once you get him comfortable with the 2-0 count, you got to blow it by him.
2-1 the count now on the shortstop Karsten Jamison with a runner on first and 2 out. Caught on and missed, and that's strike 2.
Maybe it was a strategy, Alex. He started with 2 off speeds, then he gives him 2 four seams, and this one's swinging and a miss. And now he's just basically tied the count.
The 2-2 pitch. Inside, trying to back him off a little bit. And the count goes full once again. Three-two pitch. Ground ball toward the hole and through. Penland racing around first on his way to third. He'll get in there safely as the throw is cut off by the shortstop. And there are once again runners at the corners for Fremont with 2 out here. As Brig Grange now comes to the plate. First true base hit of the inning for the Fremont Silverwolves, and now they have a chance to cut into this deficit.
It's the guy you want it from, too. He's got two singles already tonight, 2 for 2. Let's see if Brig can...
There's a bullet to the left side and through. That will score the run from third. Right on cue, Ty.
Yep, there's the announcer's curse I was talking about, right?
That's not an announcer's curse. That's because something bad didn't happen. Well, anyway, it's 7-3 now on the RBI single. And the Fremont Silverwolves do answer back. And there's still a runner in scoring position. Karsten Jamison stands on second. Brig Grange on first following the RBI single. 7-3, Corner Canyon. Here comes the pitch. High fly ball in the air to center. Center fielder...
He has to shade his glove.
Yeah, trying to shade his eyes there. Makes the catch on the top of the Y logo, and that's the end of the inning. The Silverwolves get a couple of hits, plate 1. They cut into the lead. It's 7-3 now, Corner Canyons. We head to the top of the third here at Miller Field. Hey, anytime a ball hits the roof at UCCU Ballpark or Miller Field here with me or Ty around, or me or Wilson, or me or Josh Dodge around this week, we'll have an Any Hour Services random roof ringer for you all. A random factoid about the game of baseball dug up from our piles of notes. 7-3 here in the top half of the third inning. Alexander Tumulip alongside Ty Wilkinson here at Larry H. Miller Field. From the Cyan Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU, Alexander Tumulip here with you. And Ty, I turn to you now, and Fremont did exactly what you expected them to do. They checked in with at least 1 run in that bottom of the second inning, and it was sorely needed after what happened.
It was definitely sorely needed too, Alex. I mean, there's a big difference, at least in the sport of baseball, in my personal opinion, between a 4-run game and a 3-run game. And the reason I say that is that a 3-run game, if you have a runner on, for example, first and second, you have that comfortable opportunity to kind of get a little bit more closer and closer. But I feel like the incentive with a 4-run, or I should say a 4-run deficit, would be obviously if you have a runner at first and second, you even need an extra guy that would be on deck, which would be your tying runner. So I think it's a lot more comfortable, the position that Fremont is in going into this particular inning.
Drew Watcott will now lead off the top half of the third inning for the Corner Canyon Chargers, who lead 7-3. And the first pitch is a bunt attempt up the line, foul, strike 1. New pitcher 2 on the mound here for the Fremont Silverwolves. It's number 13, Chase Jones, who relieves Canyon Pratt after Brant Colford went just 1 1/3 innings, and Canyon Pratt then finished out the inning, and now it's Chase Jones's job here. This is popped sky high up into the air. Good luck seeing this. Second baseman is under it and makes the catch. And there's one gone.
Notice how everyone in the outfield so far has had to shade with their glove to try to find, including with sunglasses too, Alex, in order to find the fly out. We have yet to see, I guess, any miscues happens thus far. It seems like they have it pretty under control.
You would think. That pitch is in there for a strike. One out here in the top half of the third inning. Here's the pitch from Jones. This one is ripped into right field, and that's a base hit. Making the turn at first is Mackey. Throw back in. And a one-out single for Tanner Mackey here. The 8th hit already in just 2 1/3 innings for the Corner Canyon Chargers offense.
Well, and that statistic, Alex, has at least shown to prove everyone in this lineup has a hit now.
Yep, everyone has got a hit now. Everyone has hit safely today. As that one was tipped foul as Garrett Downing went down to chase that.
They're asking about catcher interference.
Now Jeff Yours out here, and you're right, Ty. I think they're asking about catcher's interference here.
I love how he said, "We need to look at that." I wish we could offer them.
I wish we
said
could
replay.
offer. I wish we could offer said replay, but we don't have that.
I guess I'm as interested because I personally didn't see it. Looks like they'll just keep it as is.
So they will keep the call as is. Runner still at first, one out, in a 7-3 game. So Garrett Downing now. Steps in after the foul tip. And the pitch. This one is chopped up the line to first. Step on the bag, throw over to second. He is safe, as they did not get him. So the runner will advance to second base. They'll get the force out, though. 3 unassisted. And there's 2 out.
At plate number 2, Ryder Florence.
So here comes the shortstop, Ryder Florence. Cash Conquer will follow him in the 3-hole at second base. Here comes the pitch. This one's down low, 1 ball, no strikes. One-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chase Jones trying to get out of this inning. Runner in scoring position at second base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. And the pitch is ripped foul up the left side past the third base coaching box.
Ryder Florence just waited a little bit too long on that pitch, Alex. You could tell he really liked it, though, but just the delayed reaction. Obviously, the trajectory shows, considering it went foul on the left side.
1-2 the count here on Ryder Florence. Runner at second takes a look back. And the pitch from Jones. Tip foul off the catcher. One and two the count, 2 out. Runner in scoring position at second base. 1-2 pitch. This is lifted high in the air to left. Center fielder and left fielder coming over. Center fielder says he's got it and makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Corner Canyon gets 1 hit, but they don't get any further than that. We go now to the bottom half of the third inning. It remains 7-3 in favor of the Corner Canyon Chargers here on the Rewind Sports Network. Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of UHSAA baseball will continue tomorrow morning. Join us for more quadruple header action from Utah Valley University and BYU as we get set to determine who the last teams will be standing in the championship games this weekend. Coverage starts tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. from Utah Valley, and at 11 a.m. from here at BYU on your home for all UHSAA Spring Sports Championships, the Rewind Sports Network. Alexander Timolip, Ty Wilkinson here at the Kimball Press Box at Larry H. Miller Field. Silverwolves will have 4, 5, and 6 coming up, so the heart of the order here for Garrett Clark's team, who trails by 4 runs, 7-3. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Silverwolves so far. And 7 runs on 8 hits for the Corner Canyon Chargers. This is hit in the air to left. High, back toward the wall. And it is booted by the left fielder. Turning and running for third and sliding in safely is Garrett Jones. The left fielder, Drew Walcott, had trouble tracking it, then tried to throw his glove up at it at the last minute, and it fell out of his glove. And there's a runner at third now on the very first pitch of the inning. They'll score that an error on the left fielder. First pitch coming, and that one is hit high in the air. Down the left field line. Tracking fair, though. Walcott makes the catch, and not advancing will be Garrett Jones. And there's one out.
That's a great redemption catch right there, Alex, in left field.
And on one pitch, no less. So here comes Tyson Grieve now to the plate, the second baseman. That's a pretty big run standing out there at third base. If the Fremont Silverwolves want to get back in this game. The pitch. That's a strike.
Well, that's what I'm talking about too, Alex, is the difference between being down 4 runs as opposed to being down 3 runs is a lot more, I guess, the mental awareness is a lot bigger.
Grounder to second base, picked up on 2 hops, throw over to first, picked up cleanly in the back door. Cubs Garrett Jones. There are 2 out in the inning, but 1 run comes across to score. And the Fremont Silverwolves have made it a 3-run game. Here comes the DH now, Grady Garrett, the left-hander. Left-on-left matchup. And the first pitch from Andrew Nice on the kick and fire is hit in the air to left, down the line. That's a fair ball. And that is a 2-out single for Grady Garrett, the DH. And here comes Chase Hadley. And so, Ty, the Fremont Silverwolves starting to figure out Andrew Nice a little bit.
Just a little bit, Alex. I told you, whenever you're down a certain amount of runs, you get that certain momentum, whether it's either 3 or 4, but there's a massive difference between that run amount. Fremont's showing right there.
There's another one down the right field line this time. Garrett turning for third. He will get there. And meanwhile, the throw is wild. Coming into second. They got it. Trying to leg out the double. So at the end of 3 complete innings, it's 7-4. We'll look up towards the Provo MTC here. The new buildings soon to be your home for the next 9 weeks, Ty Wilkinson, unfortunately.
You got to be learning Japanese.
That's correct. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson, the 2 Japan boys, here with you inside the Kimball broadcast booth. Single runs in each of the in the second and third innings for Fremont, and it could have been more if it wasn't for an unfortunate base running error by Tyson Grieve that Jace Hadley had that took them out of the inning. And so now in steps Cash Conquer, the second baseman, the heart of the Charger order here, 3-4-5, ready to go. And this one is on the inner half of the plate for a strike.
And if you're Fremont, you got to realistically rely on pitching, at least to an extent at this point. You would think you got to limit that run opportunity. You've already cut the lead to 3. You don't 100% want Corner Canyon to exceed any more damage that's already been done, as the scoreboard shows.
This one is hit off the fists, tailing foul off to the bullpen. And that will land inside the bullpen as Max Johnson gave it a good run. Still 2 strikes here on the right-handed hitting second baseman Cash Conker. Nathan Horstman, the cleanup man, will be behind him, and then Andrew Nice, the pitcher, will be 5th. 0-2 pitch down low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good waste there from Chase Jones. One, 2 on the way. Got him. First strikeout of the entire afternoon for the Fremont pitching staff, and there's 1 gone here in the 4th.
Well, I was just talking about it too, Alex. Is how can the pitching aspect of Fremont provide that extra leeway going into the momentous inning, I would call it, until it was shut down by that unfortunate throw out at second.
First pitch on the way. Check swing, but a strike anyway. To Nathan Horstman, the third baseman.
Little foul tip. You could hear the little tink.
Well, you got a pretty good ear for that.
Yep.
I didn't hear it myself. 0-1 pitch on the way. This is grounded on 3 hops to second. Throw over to first in time, and there's 2 down here in the top half of the 4th.
You may not have heard the first one, but did you hear that one? That one was ear-ringing. Right
Okay, yes, I hear that one. You don't need to tell me. We're sitting up here. We're only like 15 feet away from the plate. We can hear everything down here. We can even hear... Okay, well, yeah. You get my point.
Well, there's an exit velo of 88 coming off of that bat.
First pitch now to the left-handed hitting Andrew Nice, the pitcher. This is the 3rd pitcher that Fremont has employed this afternoon. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Good pick over there on the 3-hopper by the second baseman, Tyson Grieve. 1-1 pitch. That one misses the zone low, 2-1.
If you can see the tip of his bat, Alex, he's got a little bit of a fire pattern going on right on the top. So I guess I have good eyesight, too, which I didn't think I actually had.
Well, you're going to need that at some point during your time as a broadcaster.
Very true.
Well, 3 balls and a strike now, the count on Andrew Nice, the pitcher. And that curveball just misses the outside corner for ball 4. And so Andrew Nice will now trot over to first, and he will be replaced by the pinch runner Lincoln Yor. And now here comes Ryland Dunn, who already has a 2-run home run in this game, and he also has a single. First pitch coming to him from Chase Jones, right on right matchup, and this is fouled right back to the screen. And a good one-handed snag there from the man on deck, the right fielder Jack Munson. (7-4) in favor of Corner Canyon. 2 out here in the top half of the 4th. 1 strike to count against Ryland Dunn. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Strike 2.
Well, he's had nothing but solid contact so far today, Alex. 2 for 2. Seeing if he can find his pitch down really late in the count. 0-2.
0-2 the count against Ryland Dunn, and here's the pitch. Payoff on the way coming from Jones. Cut him. Ball gets by to the backstop. This is going to be a tough play. Throw to first. Got him! And that ends the inning. And the Fremont bench finally feeling like they've got some momentum on their side. It's only a 3-run game as we head to the bottom half of the 4th. Can Fremont make a dent in this deficit? We'll find out. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of BYU. Alexander Tumop alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson. As we get set for the bottom half of the 4th inning, the Fremont Silverwolves trying to create some traction against this Corner Canyon team. They did it last inning with that brilliant defensive play, preventing the run from scoring. And now they'll get their chance here in the bottom half of the fourth.
And the Fremont bats, they've really been hot, Alex. I know the score doesn't exactly show it, but every inning there has been traffic on the plates.
That pitch from Andrew Nice is right down the heart of the plate for a strike to the 9-hole hitter, Brady Penland, the right fielder. 9-1-2 to lead off here in the bottom of the fourth as Nice pours in another one right at the knees. Strike two. Two-strike pitch on the way. And that is hit foul off to the right. And into the parking lot. Oh, 2 pitch coming from Andrew Nice. This one is grounded toward the hole. Picked up on the backhand by Conker. Throw to first. Pulled him off the bag. And that's going to be an infield hit. And Fremont has the tying run now in the on-deck circle.
And Alex, here comes the 1-2-3 in the roster. Karsten Jamison already 2 for 2 tonight. Couple of singles.
They're going to officially score that an error on the second baseman. I don't know, understand that. We'll have to figure that one out pretty soon here. Anyway, it's Jamison at the plate. First pitch on the way. And he drops a bunt. Perfect bunt right in front of home plate. Throw to first in time. But it pulled him off the bag once again.
I could see that one from up here. Alex's leg was off the plate. Couldn't apply it.
And now the tying run is at the plate. And Jeff Ure is out of the dugout. There's nobody in the bullpen. So this is his starter's jam to work out of. That one, they will score a base hit. Well, we just talked about it, Ty, how quickly things can change. And boy, how have they changed here in the bottom of the fourth.
It's
really over the last 2 innings, think about it.
It's very true, Alex. I feel like Fremont is really trying to work on Alex Nice getting up there in the pitch count probably already right now. Because once again, Fremont has not necessarily had a bad inning in regards to the hitting perspective. You can see they're just trying to slowly creep in and catch up. And this inning, it looks like they're really looking to try to do damage with runners on first and second and no outs.
They have runners on first and second, nobody out, and they also have the tying run in the person of Brig Grange here at the plate.
Well, I told you, too, it all started with Brady Penland, the 9-hole hitter. He got that single to get things going, and I said, just watch out for this top of the lineup because they can do damage.
Penland at second, Jamison at first, Grange representing the tying run here at the plate. The winner goes to the semifinals tomorrow. As Nice was trying to motion out to his catcher to have a conference. Now Cannon Cotterall and his pitcher will have a conference, and now they'll go back to their respective places.
And now there's an arm going in the bullpen. You can see Corner Canyon. There's activity.
Yep, we have a righty warming up now in the bullpen for Corner Canyon. Bottom of the fourth, nobody out. Runners on first and second, and the tying run at the plate. Here comes the pitch. And that bounces up to the plate, a 58-foot curveball that is down in the dirt for ball one. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Fremont. In this inning, no runs, a hit, and 1 error charged to Corner Canyon's Cash Conker at second. 1-0 pitch. Down in the carpet again, 2-0.
If you're Brig Grange, this is the count you want, too. Ahead, you're up 2-0. You're also ahead of the strikes, and you're really just trying to work right now on Andrew Nice.
2-0 pitch coming here from Andrew Nice. Ground ball to the hot corner third. 5. They'll get the runner at second on the force And it was a hard tag out there. Jamison looked like he got more of a hand right to the gut from Cash Conquer. It was a hard tag, but certainly no malicious intent on that one. And now there's one out, and that will bring up the left fielder, Anthony Marzial.
You also notice a couple of errant throws, too, from Corner Canyon, avoiding getting set outs, Alex. We saw the bunt applied that was kind of thrown out a little bit, causing Rylan Dunn over there at first base to kind of get off a little bit.
Left-on-left matchup here for Andrew Nice against Anthony Marzial. The first pitch is inside, ball one. Runners at the corners with one out, 1 ball, no strikes, and Marzial representing the tying run at the plate. It's only the 4th inning, but we only have 7 innings in a high school baseball game, and it could get interesting really quick. 1-0 pitch. That's on the corner away, strike one. Signal comes down. Kick in the fire. And this one's in the carpet. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Anthony, another 400 hitter. And yet another stacked 6A lineup in baseball, a senior. A guy who's relied upon. He leads his team in home runs this year. It's no wonder he's the 3 spot in this lineup.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side and foul up the first base line. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count against Anthony Marzial. It's one of those bookmark moments here in the game.
Well, not only that, too, but Alex, he leads his team in plenty of stats. RBIs, hits. This is definitely the guy you want to have with runners on the corners and only 1 out. Not to hopefully ground out into a double play.
That one is taken high and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count goes full on Anthony Marzial as Andrew Nice is a pitch away from loading the bases potentially.
Marzial seems calm. He seems cool.
Lincoln Yor is the one warming up in the bullpen right now for Corner Canyon. On the 3-2 pitch, he struck him out! And that is probably the biggest strikeout of the day so far for Andrew Nice. Just his 2nd, but it's a big one. And there's 2 gone now here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and we're going to have a pinch runner for the Fremont Silverwolves. And it looks like it's going to be Luke Penland going out to run for Brig Grange, the catcher. So now here comes Garrett Jones, the first baseman. Came around to score on the error by the left fielder Walcott earlier in the 3rd inning. This one is golfed foul over to the right side and over us into the right field stands. 1 strike. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Nice. That one gets away. And that's going to score a run. Runner advances to 2nd. And it is a 7-5 game.
And just like that, Alex, the tying run is at the plate. We've got ourselves a ball game here.
Max Johnson now stands on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the potential go-ahead run is on deck. Here it comes. And this one is popped into the seats, coming over near where we are. And it lands at about the 16th row or so.
Please turn off foul balls.
1-2 the count, 2 outs. Can Andrew Nice get out of this jam? Foul. One run has already come home to score. No base hits. That run was unearned on the pass ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 7-5 our score. Runner on second. Here comes the pitch. Poked in the air to center. On a line. Right at the center fielder, Garrett Downing. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 1 run comes across to score on no base hits with no errors. The Fremont Silverwolves have trimmed the lead further. It's a 7-5 game as we head to the top of inning number 5. You get a look there at the American Fork Cavemen, who are entering Miller Field as we speak. They're taking their seats, and they'll be facing off against Region 3 rival Lehigh coming up in our nightcap of the second round games. Alexander Timlip, Ty Wilkinson here sitting in the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young. Wind blowing out to behind us now, coming from behind us now to the outfield here as we're approaching 6 o'clock local time here in Provo, Utah. 2 runs in the first inning and single runs in the second, third, and fourth innings. And after a 7 spot in the second inning, the Corner Canyon Chargers are in need of some insurance here as we go to the top of the 5th, and they have Jack Munson, the right fielder, leading off. 7, 8, 9 in the order leading off as Munson takes a strike over the outside part of the plate. 0-1 pitch. This one is another curveball that misses the outside corner this time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, lefty already has a single tonight. Unfortunately, does have a force out in the exact same inning, Alex, that he hit around in the second.
This one is golfed to the left side into the bullpen over there.
He was actually the last out of the second inning after they batted around, what was it, 11 batters?
11 batters, yes. I feel like that would be a cardinal sin in baseball for you to be the last guy to get out in an inning where you put up at least 5 or 6 runs. I feel like you get ripped for that in the dugout, would you?
Probably.
As this one is grounded up the middle. Good stop by the shortstop, Jamison. Throw to first. That's a close play. They got him. We've seen a couple of web gems today from the shortstops. Max Hunter. Of course, Davis had a good one. Mountain Ridge's Leo Pachoco had a couple of good ones. But Karsten Jamison comes up with an absolute sizzler to throw out the speedy Jack Munson.
He's carrying that momentum carried over from the previous inning, at least in the at-bat attempts, and he wants to carry it over. He's like, come on, get me to the at-bat again. I want that back.
That brings up Drew Walcott, the left fielder. And he weakly tops this one foul into the on-deck circle. 2 strikes now on Drew Walcott. Chase Jones has come in and done a masterful job shutting it down these last 2 innings. 0-2 pitch. Cut him, looking, strike 3. And there's 2 gone here in the inning now. The web gem ground out, and then the punch out. And now here comes Mackey. Here comes Tanner Mackey. Try to at least put a ball back in play here in this inning.
And that's the second strikeout, too. He's only allowed 1 hit. Actually, my apologies, only 1 walk. So he probably even better.
That one is there at the knees for a strike. Good, crisp fastball now. Jones is dealing. As the shadows start to creep in here at Larry H. Miller Field. 0-1 pitch. That curveball misses the outside corner, ball 1. One pitch. That is a good fastball in the corner. Strike 2. Tanner Mackey, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Can Chase Jones get out of this in a clean inning? Ball 2. Be the first clean inning of the day for this Fremont pitching staff, and one they would desperately need. And they get it right there. Chase Jones, step right up and make yourself known. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Chargers go down in order in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of inning number 5. Fremont on the comeback trail, now down by 2. Lincoln Ure still warming up in the bullpen here for the Corner Canyon Chargers as we begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson. It was a 7-2 game entering the bottom of the 2nd inning, but single runs in each of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings for Fremont. And some wonderful work out of the bullpen by Chase Jones. And Ty, we once again have ourselves a ball game.
Indeed we do, Alex. I'll come back to that point that I made the other time. The difference between a 4-run game and a 3-run game is because once Fremont got themselves within a 3-run game, you could tell that momentum definitely carried over, and it feels like they're just slowly creeping inning by inning to try to bridge that gap and, you know, try to get at least that deficit that Corner Canyon had a barrage of in the 2nd and have not been able to answer since. But Fremont just, you can notice slowly but surely creeping in inning by inning.
We start off the bottom of the 5th inning with a foul ball into the screen for strike 1 from Max Johnson, the 3rd baseman. 5, 6, 7 in the order to bat for the Fremont Silverwolves, who are trying to make a monster comeback here in the first game of our 2nd round doubleheader. 0-1 pitch. High, ball 1. Andrew Nice has gone 4+ innings here so far. Lincoln Ure, though, warming up in the bullpen. That one is grounded toward the hole and through for a base hit. Max Johnson will turn at first. A leadoff single for number 14. And Fremont will bring the tying run to the plate. And here comes Jeff Ure out of the dugout, and I think that's going to do it for his starter, Andrew Nice. And that is going to be it for Andrew Nice. Lincoln Ure will come out of the bullpen now to try and lock this down, as Andrew Nice will retake his place in the field. Ryland Dunn's day is done, and we'll meet Lincoln Ure, the new pitcher, when we come back on the Rewind Sports Network with Corner Canyon up by 2. Lincoln Ure now has the task of keeping this deficit right where it is for Fremont as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the runner on first and the tying run at the plate. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson. So what's the strategy here for head coach Garrett Clark? Because you still have a couple of innings to work with, and you've been able to show you have consistent offense throughout the day. But how aggressive do you get is the question.
That's a very good question, Alex, because to tell you the truth, I have no idea. Because, as you said before, this aggressive offense is just slowly creeping in. And for what it's worth, I mean, Brant Coford originally pitching. Who took over his spot again? Remind me.
Originally was Canyon Pratt to finish in, and then Chase Jones is currently on the mound right now.
And Chase Jones, well, let's hope he's able to, contain at least what Fremont has provided. I keep going back to that difference between a 4-run game and a 3-run game and just the amount of perspective that it has for either team. But Fremont, they're knocking on the doorstep, Alex. You already start off with a single and no outs. And we know this team is capable because we've seen it during the regular season.
So Tyson Grieve is the tying run at the plate. And Grady Garrett is the potential go-ahead run on deck as the pitch first one from Lincoln Ure is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ure Brings it. And that is a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch. That one is right on the corner for a strike. 7-5 score here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lincoln Yor out of the bullpen, tasked with getting the Chargers out of this, as this is tip foul back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And just as it has throughout the day, the tension in here is palpable. Yor comes set, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2, throw down to first. They will not get the runner. So that actually is strike 3, excuse me. So down goes the run, down goes Grieve, and now here comes Grady Garrett, the designated hitter.
Well, this bottom 7 has been struggling most of the night. A couple of groundouts, I think it's 4 total. The only guy who's pretty much having a day is Brady Penland, who has got a single and a walk.
Tying run at the plate. Go ahead run on deck. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Back to the pitcher. Are they going to get him? They will not get the throw off. That's going to be an error there on the pitcher, I think. And that means the go-ahead run is now on base. Or rather, the tying run is now on base, and the go-ahead run is now at the plate. They officially marked that off as a base hit. Runner at second, tying run at first, go-ahead run at the plate. First pitch, down low, ball 1.
You can tell Corner Canyon is pretty insistent on trying to keep Max Johnson in his place over there at second.
You're having a staring contest with him over at second base right now. 1 ball, no strikes. Tying run on first. Go-ahead run at the plate. And the pitch. High and inside, 2-0. Pitch. And that is foul. And that is onto the tarp and onto the roof, so that means it's an Any Hour Services random roof ringer, which we'll have after this pitch here by Lincoln Yor. In a 2-1 count with runners on first and second, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Lincoln Yor 1 pitch away from getting his second strikeout out of the pen. In a big moment here in this game.
Taking a long windup.
Now he throws it. High, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count.
I mean, you talked about the stare down over there for Max Johnson. Talk about the stare down to home plate for Jace Hadley.
Full count offering on the way. Inside, ball 4, bases loaded. And here comes the staff meeting out to the mound. And while we have a moment, We're going to do our Any Hour Services random roof ringer. Ty, go ahead.
So you know how we call it home plate. Have you ever wondered why it's actually called home plate, Alex?
I actually have never thought about that. It's like thinking about the Roman Empire these days.
That's actually kind of true. But the entire reason it is called home plate, Alex, is because way back in the day, we're talking 1857, home plate was a quite literal plate that was made of iron.
Are you kidding?
It was a silver, and it was 6x6, so it was even smaller than the home plate you see today.
That's like tiny compared to the home plate we have today.
I don't know how an umpire would have made his call back then.
I guess they didn't make any calls. They just called it on their own, maybe. Meanwhile, a strike to Brady Penland, now the 9-man in the order against Lincoln Yor. 0-1 pitch on the way. Misses low and outside, ball 1 now. The tension really ratcheting up here in this first second round matchup of the day. We still have one more to go between Lehigh and American Fork, an all Region 3 showdown coming up later tonight. The pitch. That's a strike. Good off-speed pitch right at the knees.
That was like a rainbow. I bet you've seen enough of your day in Hawaii. That was pretty much similar.
Playing on words, rainbow baseball right there. 1-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did.
It's a huge out.
Now in court 2, Karsten Jameson.
So back to the top of the order now, Karsten Jameson.
Well, Alex, I know I said it's a huge out, but now you're facing a guy who's 3 for 3. He's got 3 singles on the night, and he had laid that bunt down back in the 4th inning to take us to where we are today with the bases loaded.
Karsten Jameson stands in the first pitch, right there at the knees. Strike 1.
Carson has definitely waited on his pitches, working on the Corner Canyon bullpen in his duration, and I guess as the stat shows.
Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. 0-1 pitch on the way. Down low, ball 1. Yor comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Underhand to first. And this inning is over. The Fremont Silverwolves load the bases, but they cannot drive in the runs. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It remains 7-5. Corner Canyon. At the conclusion of today's game, Ty and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann Associates Player of the Game, presented by the full-service law firm that is fully committed to winning for you, the client.
And pitch count through 5 innings. Corner Canyon Chargers 18. Fremont Silverwolves 39.
Well, Alex, this is the time of the day where the sun to shade transition really starts to take into effect between the pitcher and the catcher. So I guess not only is that a disadvantage for the pitcher to catcher ratio, but it's also difficult for the batter ratio as soon as, you know, it reaches that shade point, because you can't exactly read the pitch the same way in that transition. I mean, hitting a baseball itself is hard enough. Try to do it with a shade to sun transition.
So back to the top of the order now for the Corner Canyon Chargers. It's Garrett Downing to start things off here in the top half of the 6th inning. That pitch is on the outside corner and low, ball 1. One 0 pitch. That also misses low, 2-0. Two 0 pitch. That's high and away, 3-0. Chase Jones has put up a 0 in both innings he's worked so far. Nobody up in the bullpen, though, this inning here for the Fremont Silverwolves. 3-0 pitch. That's in there, taken all the way. Strike one. Three-one pitch. Misses high and outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk drawn by Garrett Downing, the center fielder. And that's a big insurance run out there at first base now for the Chargers, as Ryder Florence takes his spot now in the batter's box. Check throw back to first, and in safely is Downing.
Well, you talk about that insurance run, Alex. It's been awfully quiet since that second inning. The third inning, no runs. It was a single. Fourth inning, just a walk, a couple of field outs, and a strikeout.
And here's a ground ball to second. And it's bobbled. They will still get the force out at second after the bobble by Tyson Grieve. So score that, put out 4-6 FC. And there's one gone here in the top half of the sixth inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Cash Conker. Nope, it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Logan Nordhoff pinch hitting here for Cash Conker. So Nordhoff will get his second pinch hit appearance of this entire tournament. Pinch hit yesterday, and it came up pretty well. First pitch on the way. This one is high and inside, ball 1. Winner advances to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. The loser is relegated to the first elimination game tomorrow morning, where they'll face Mountain Ridge. 1-0 pitch. That one is in the rug. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch on the way. And it misses again. 3 balls and no strikes. One runner on, 1 out here in the top half of the sixth inning. 7-5 is our score in favor of Corner Canyon. 3-0 pitch, misses high. 4-pitch walk issued by Jones. And here comes the catcher, Grange Brig Grange, out to have a chat. As we have another arm going out to the bullpen, Marshall Moon, number 45, now going out to the bullpen here for the Fremont Silverwolves. He was going out, but now he's going back in, it looks like. So runners on first and second here. 1 out. And Cash Conker now replaces Logan Nordhoff at second as the pinch runner. Or first, rather, as the pinch runner. This one bounces up on the rug. 1 ball, no strikes. As the first pitch is thrown to Nathan Horseman, the cleanup hitter.
Are you liking the shoes? Do you think he's got the best in the game, or at least in the tournament so far?
Bright orange shoes, eh?
With the fire bat combo.
Interesting, to say the least. That one is a high and inside pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. There's a good shot of them that our cameraman Josh Dodge is showing right now, as we have Garrett Clark walking out to the mound. And I think this is just more of a mound visit more than anything right now with the... Nope, it is going to be a change. They're going to change pitchers. And Marshall Moon is going to come in to replace Chase Jones. We'll get to know him when we come back. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the second round of the UHSAA Baseball 6A play. Karsten Jamison will now move from shortstop to the mound, and Marshall Moon will take his place at shortstop, number 45. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson here as we have a 2-0 count. The Corner Canyon Chargers have runners on first and second with only one out here in the top half of the 6th inning. And Ty, you've heard good things you said about Marshall Moon over at shortstop.
Marshall Moon, yeah, he's a great shortstop. I mean, his fielding percentage over the years that he's played with Fremont have been pretty much outstanding. He's played ever since he's been a sophomore, and I mean, his percentages, again, as a fielder over at shortstop have just been amazing. And to tell you the exact statistics, he's got 40 putouts on 49 attempts. So
that's pretty high for a high school baseball player, especially
going into a pitching to a now shortstop transition. So he's doing just fine, I'd say, over there. Let's see how he does in tournament play. We've seen a lot of hits be shot toward that shortstop line too, Alex, and a lot of amazing plays. So we'll see how he can handle that transition into now fielding more so than the pitching aspect.
Big insurance run out there at second base in the person of Ryder Florence. Over at first base is Cash Conker. Jamison's first pitch on the way, and it is in there for a high strike. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike now on Nathan Horstman. Two-one pitch. High fly ball down the line and right, headed towards the bullpen, and that's going to land in the bullpen foul and hop out over towards Helaman Halls. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count now. Jamison comes in on a 2-0 count and throws 2 strikes to the first man he faces, Nathan Horstman. Can he get the one that matters, though? Not that time. Threw it up and in behind him. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Jamison, as we know, just a great bullpen pitcher. 8 appearances. Only has an earned run average of just barely below 2. That's a 1.91 ERA. So to say the least, in his 8 appearances, he's pretty much shut it down.
Jamison has a look back at second. The full count payoff on the way. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So after starting with 2 strikes, as Horstman trots on down to first, orange shoes gleaming in the sun. Jamison now faces a monstrous jam. Bases loaded with only 1 out.
And against Andrew Nice, who's got a triple already.
That one is outside, ball 1. Approach with caution here, you would say.
Well, Andrew Nice, not only with just a triple, it was a 2-run triple. So not only was it crucial to the way the score is right now, but this is a crucial at-bat for him as well.
That one is a little high and outside, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes, 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. Karsten Jamison kicks and fires and lines one into center field. That one is caught. That should be plenty deep to score the run. Tagging and throwing is Ryder Florence. He will come in to score. And on the sacrifice fly, it is now an 8-5 ball game, and that is a big-time run that they have pushed across, as here comes Lincoln Yor now. And he'll be taking the place of Ryland Dunn in the order on the double switch. He's hitting 6th rather, as the pitcher. And he swings and misses at this one, strike 1.
I'd also like to mention, Alex, this will be the 2nd time that Corner Canyon has hit through their lineup. Obviously, we know Ryland Dunn, at least in the lineup, is now being replaced with Lincoln. But as a result, since he is the 6th hitter, we started out with Jack Munson So he's the last one in the lineup. This will be the second time this game that has happened.
One the count here on Lincoln York. And the pitch. Good pitch right at the knee. Strike 2. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Can Chase Jones hold this deficit right where it is for his offense in the bottom of the 6th, which has had multiple chances, but have not been able to capitalize? The 1-2. That one is a strike. It was dropped, but the umpire says no need to throw, and that is the inning. The Chargers scratch across 1 run, but they're unable to get any more. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning now. Corner Canyon now leads 8-5 on the Rewind Sports Network. The Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs continues tomorrow. Catch us all day long from Utah Valley University and from BYU as we bring you the second elimination round and the semifinals to determine who will be the last 2 teams standing for the championship this weekend. Coverage starts bright and early tomorrow at 10:50 a.m. across KSL Sports Rewind. And it's just another part of the loaded Spring Sports Championship week that we are always proud to bring you on KSL Sports Rewind. Alexander Tumulp alongside the broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson here from the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field at BYU. Well, Ty, it's now or never for the Fremont Silverwolves. They had a golden opportunity in that bottom of the 5th, but they let it pass by. What do they got to do now to keep themselves and keep their heads in the game?
Well, I take the last inning that Corner Canyon had at bat as a positive. I mean, only 1 run and they managed to bat through the entire lineup. I don't even understand how that's possible. But you got to turn this into a positive and make it into the offensive perspective. Don't let the last inning kind of catch you.
Lincoln Yori remains on the mound. He'll try to shut it down the rest of the way. Already got 2 crucial outs in that bottom of the 5th inning. This one is hit high in the air towards the dugout. Everybody look out over there. And trying to reach in and make the catch was Andrew Nice, but he couldn't make the catch, and then his hat fell off. As you see, everybody had to run and duck for cover over there in the Corner Canyon dugout.
It's like an airstrike from above. A little friendly.
Death from above.
Yeah.
Death from above, as it were.
Little friendly fire over there from Grange Big Brig Grange.
Next pitch to Grange is up and in, 2 balls and a strike.
You think he likes the song LaGrange by ZZ Top?
I don't know. I think one of these days someone's gonna have to ask him about that. As this is grounded to short on 2 hops, throw over to first in time, and Grange grounds out to the shortstop 6-3, and there's 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 6th. Good sure-handed play over there by Ryder Florence, as these shortstops today in all of our games so far have been putting on defensive clinics. Meanwhile, here's Anthony Marzial. 2-3-4 in the lineup here in this half of the 6th inning, as this one is off the corner and away, ball 1. One-0 pitch. Down on the carpet, 2-0.
Well, the shift is on, Alex. You wonder if Jeff Ewer has his idea to play his infielders so much more deeper because we are playing in a bigger ballpark than I think Corner Canyon is used to.
That one had to be kind of picked up off the shoe tops, but it was called a strike.
Perhaps it's a defensive tactic.
Well, you'd have to think so. I mean, all these infielders have been playing the deeper infielders have been basically playing almost on the outfield turf. As this is inside and low, 3 balls and a strike. Should Marzial get on base, the tying run will then move to the on-deck circle. Remember, the Silverwolves had the tying run on first base and the go-ahead run at the plate. but couldn't get them all across. As this one is fisted weakly off the hands to the right. A diving attempt over there by Nice, but he couldn't come up with it. Good effort, though. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here.
Great effort. Turf burn who?
Yeah.
Never
I
heard
don't
of her.
think, yeah, I think he's used to that. Three balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. A 3-run lead for the Corner Canyon Chargers, trying to continue this Cinderella run into the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. And Marzial and Yor want some time. The full count pitch. Got him, swinging, strike 3. And Marzial goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today.
At play number 4, Garrett Jones.
As Garrett Jones now steps into the batter's box with 2 gone.
Yeah, those are 2 big outs, too, in the 6th inning. We thought Fremont would carry its momentum from the previous innings that they've had, knocking on that doorstep.
That one high and inside there to the first baseman. Ball 1. Tying run remains in the hole on the 1-0 pitch. This one is grounded to the right side. And the first baseman will take it over to the bag. Andrew Nice, he'll step on the bag. 3 unassisted. That's the end of the inning. A big scoreless inning there for Lincoln Yor as the Fremont Silverwolves go Ikahi, Elua, Aloha in the bottom of the 6th inning. We head to the last inning of the day, the 7th inning coming up. It is 8-5, Corner Canyon. Well, the Fremont Silverwolves are staring down their final 3 offensive outs here in the winner's bracket. If they can't get this thing turned around, Alexander Tumulip alongside our broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson as we're getting set for the final inning of the day between these 2 teams. 8-5, Corner Canyon leads here at the top of the 7th inning. Ty, what has impressed you the most about this Corner Canyon team?
The most impressive, at least in my opinion, not only just battering around 2 separate innings and only a 7-inning game for that matter, but the team chemistry all night long it has been coming out of that dugout. Each guy, I feel like, has each other's back. They're giving each other motivation. We just saw before this break. Looked like, let me see, I think it was Ryder Florence who was trying to get his team a little bit pumped up, playing a little get him hide and seek behind the overlay fence over there in the dugout. So you can tell it's a party over there in the dugout right now.
This one is grounded on 2 hops to short. Moon throws, and he throws it wide. And Munson going to be very smart about it, not wanting to take a risk. And that'll be an error on Marshall Moon, and a rare one at that. We were singing the praises of how good he was as a shortstop. Well, what a time for him to... What a time for that to happen here in the game.
Or the shortstop position in general during this tournament, Alex.
I mean, we've been singing the praises of these shortstops all day long here today. So Drew Walcott now stands in. Showing bunt. Tried to bunt and ended up having it pop out of the glove of the catcher. And that's a strike. Drew Walcott, and then it'll be the 9-man in the order, Tanner Mackey. And then the lineup cards will turn over after that. 1 strike the count with the runner on first in the person of Jack Munson, the left fielder.
He's thinking bunt.
And that time Walcott pulls it back. 1 each. I should say Munson's playing right field. Walcott's playing left field.
I just find it so impressive. Max Johnson, just by the time he's laying the bunt, you can see him slowly creep, and then he's almost all the way. At least halfway between home and third.
And this one is bunted up the line foul, so you have to think here. Walcott might be swinging. Don't know if we want to see a repeat of what happened in the Mountain Ridge Davis game earlier this morning where we had a bunt foul out.
It's definitely the first time I've seen it during a game. I've heard of stories of it happening before. They always teach you to swing on 2 strikes.
Will he swing on 2 strikes? He will, and he misses. Strike 3. So one gone here in the top half of the 7th inning with a runner on and a man up in the bullpen. It's Ryder Florence, the shortstop, who is in there right now as we have a pinch hitter coming out. That is Aiden Dunn coming out. Tanner Mackey's day, I would assume, then is finished. As Dunn will now bring his bat up to the plate. Runner on first with one out here in the top half of the 7th inning. The pitch. Lined into the air, foul. Look out. That's coming over everybody over on the right field line in the concourse. No balls and a strike. One out here. Top half of the 7th inning. One runner on first base. And here's the 0-1. And that one pops out of the glove of the catcher. Throw down to second. This is going to be close. And he is safe. That'll be a passed ball and a stolen base. And so that big insurance run now moves up 90 feet to second base, and Aiden Dunn has a chance to drive him in a 3-run game where Corner Canyon has led for the majority of the afternoon, which speed wobbled a little bit, but they have come up with some clutch plays on defense and from their pitching staff. That pitch is inside 2-1.
Keep an eye out there on Tyson Grieve with the pickup opportunity, putting a big gap in opposite field.
Shading towards that way. Dunn swung at it, but it took a strike anyway, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here against Aiden Dunn, the pinch hitter. The 2-2 pitch coming. And it's lined foul off to the right. So we'll do it again. 6th or 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Two-two pitch. Ground ball, base hit to left. They'll throw the stop sign on the runner at third as the throw home is cut off up the line. And there are runners at the corners now with only one out.
That's the right move to throw on that stop sign, too. Because I think he would have been dead at the water around 3/4 of the way to home plate.
At the plate number 11, Garrett Downing.
So Garrett Downing now with the big task of getting the run in from third base and making it a 4-run game, because, again, a 3-run game is a lot different than a 4-run game here, especially in a game where you're trying to move on to the semifinals. And that's swung on and missed by Downing. This one is grounded to right, and that's a base hit. 1 run will score. Turning and heading for third and getting there is standing up is Dunn. An RBI single for Garrett Downing. It is 9-5, Corner Canyon.
At plate number 2, Ryder Florence.
And there's that insurance run that you're looking for, and a big one at that. Makes it a 4-score game.
Runner goes off for second. Throw down to second. Got him.
Oh, he's staying over there. Are they going to call him safe?
I think we have a little bit of a confusion here. Jeff Yorey wants a... Because he saw 2 signals. He saw the signal for out, and then he saw the signal like he was safe. But now Jeff wants to know which one it is because now he's confused.
wobbling over to the dugout. I think he's pretty certain.
So Jeff Uri just needed an explanation there from our third base umpire. He was a little bit confused on that. So he gets the explanation, and now he heads back to the dugout. So now there's 2 out here. 1 strike the count and the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. That gets through! And the Corner Canyon Chargers can taste the semifinals within their grasp.
2 huge runs from Corner Canyon. And now they're ahead 5, which is detrimental to this Fremont team, who had an opportunity with being down 3. That was all pretty much just shattered by those 2 big base hits.
But go back to the earlier when they had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th, and they couldn't push anything across. I mean, that just seems so. I mean, to some of us, it might have seemed so insignificant, but to us broadcasters up here in the booth, I mean, that was a huge turning point in this ball game as this one bounces up off the carpet. 2 balls and no strikes now. Still 2 outs here. Most of the runs today for Corner Canyon have come with 2 outs. Among the plethora of things that they have been able to get out of both sides of the ball here today, 2-0 pitch is in there at the knees for a strike. And Ty, speaking of the detriment to the Fremont team, you can feel the energy just got sucked out of the building on those 2 base hits.
Definitely out of the building, and most especially in the dugout, too.
2-1 pitch. That one misses the corner. 3 balls and a strike now. Ryder Florence was warming up in the bullpen. You'd have to think maybe Jeff Uri brings him in. I got to remember to say his name right. Jeff Yor. 3-1. That one catches the corner for a called strike, and the Chargers are down to their last strike of the 7th inning. American Fork against Lehigh is coming up just after 7:30 p.m. or just close to 8 o'clock local time here in Provo. What a battle that's going to be between these 2 Region 3 rivals. 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and it is swung on and missed for strike 3. And that is that in the 7th inning. Corner Canyon scratches across 2 more runs, though, in the inning, and they are in the driver's seat as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. Last chance saloon coming up for Fremont. They're down by 5 as we hit the final half inning of the day. Last time, we like to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs is presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm committed to building a winning team for you, the client. Call them today at 801-754-4240 or contact them online at utah.law for your free consultation, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Also brought to you by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered for all times of the year. Swung on and missed by Max Johnson, strike 1. 5, 6, 7 in the order to begin this bottom half of the 7th inning for the Fremont Silverwolves, who are staring down a morning date with a rematch with Mountain Ridge coming up tomorrow morning. Yor brings it down. That is fouled off to the right. That will not hit the roof. That hits something, though, on the concourse. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Just misses the corner. 1-2.
Well, how about the 10-seed Corner Canyon pushing Fremont to the brink right now? The 10-seed with 10 runs and only holding Fremont to 5.
This one is hit in the air to center. Drives the center fielder back off the logo. And the catch is made out there for the first out of the inning. One down here in the bottom half of the 7th inning as Garrett Downing gets the F8. Now here comes Tyson Grieve, the second baseman, and Grady Garrett stands as the last chance for the Fremont Silverwolves as Lincoln Ure tries to nail down the save. Came in a tough spot in the 6th inning for Andrew in the 5th inning for Andrew Nice, and he has cleaned up very nicely since then. This one is lifted foul off to the right side, now to play. One each. Fremont will be the road team tomorrow if they get Mountain Ridge in the elimination game, which is looking increasingly likely. That one high and inside, 2 balls and a strike. And Corner Canyon will await the winner of that elimination game. And they will play in the semifinal at 4:30. That one is foul tipped off the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Well, it feels like so close they can almost taste it. I mean, we saw in between innings, who was it? Jack Munson getting bench pressed over in the other side of the Corner Canyon dugout. So the party is definitely on. I mean, it's obviously not over yet. But I think the 10 seed is having quite a bit of fun here, Alex.
2-2 pitch. Grounded foul up the right side. 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for Corner Canyon. 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error on the ledger for the Silverwolves. As we've seen one region, one team lose today, Davis was eliminated by Mountain Ridge in a thriller in our opener this morning. And Fremont in danger of going down as well. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. On 3 hops. Picked up, throw over to first in time. And the Fremont Silverwolves are down to their final out this afternoon. And Grady Garrett, the DH, is the last chance here for Fremont. Lincoln Ure comes set, and the pitch. That's a strike. That's down low. That's 7 runs, 2nd inning, proving to be the difference for the Corner Canyon Chargers, just as a 6-run 6th inning did yesterday against Davis. And fouled back to the screen, and now the Chargers have the Silverwolves down to their final strike this afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th for the 10-seed Corner Canyon. And this one is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen once more. Urias set. 2-2. Ground ball to second. Conchar throws. Got him. And Cinderella lives on.
And that's ball game. Corner Canyon Chargers 10, Fremont Silverwolves 5. Both these teams will play again tomorrow. Corner Canyon will play at 4:30 here at the National Field. And the Fremont Silverwolves will play tomorrow morning against Mountain Ridge at 11 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, as you leave the stadium tonight, if you would look
the 10 seed with 10 runs. And the Corner Canyon Chargers are in the semifinals of the 6A baseball playoffs. Ty, if I had told you the 10 seed would be in this position, 1 win away from making the finals, I don't think we ever would have seen this coming.
I would have thought you were crazy if you told me that, Alex. Because quite literally, I counted on Davis actually being in the semifinal. But the 10 seed, man, when you're hot, you're hot. And Corner Canyon, I mean, they're on fire.
So now it's time to name our Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game, presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm fully committed to winning for you, the client. There's a lot of names we could pick for that 7-run second inning, but we have to give the nod to Ryland Dunn. His 2-run home run proved to be the difference in that second inning.
Ryland Dunn, yep, and he's honestly, I think that moved to put him in front of Cannon Cotterall by a head coach, I think was a really reasonable idea. Just because, obviously the home run in that aspect, but just a heavy hitter in the lineup, and he played himself a game today, Alex.
So now we get set for our nightcap here, Ty. Lehigh against American Fork, an all Region 3 showdown. This one is going to be good.
And they just turned the lights on to the right of us, so you know it's coming, Alex.
We have prime time ready to go. The second game of our doubleheader, the nightcap, is getting ready to come up. It's Lehigh and American Fork coming up soon, but it's Corner Canyon and Fremont here finishing up with Corner Canyon celebrating a 10-5 win. They are on to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. We'll be back with Game 4 of this amazing 6A baseball tournament, Day 2, in just a little bit. We'll be back on the Rewind Sports Network